Welcome to Reviewed and Ranked, and today we are looking at... No, not Halloween. You thought I was going to say Halloween, didn't you? That's because I tricked you that way. I swerved you. Anyway, so we are talking about the Psycho follow-ups. We're not talking about Psycho. That one we're going to leave on its own. But we're going to be looking at the follow-ups of Psycho. That means Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4 at the beginning, Bates Motel, the original Bates Motel, the Psycho remake, and the series. I'm reviewing and ranking those. So, to go through them really quickly, Richard Franklin did Psycho 2. It was a follow-up to the classic Psycho done by Alfred Hitchcock. Extremely well done film. Characterization is key in Psycho 2, and it's really well played out. We get to really, after finding out what a horrible killer Norman Bates is, spoiler for those people that haven't seen the movie, but by this point, you should have seen it. We get to see a Norman Bates that is reformed, and it is obvious that he has working extremely hard on being this reformed character. He's gotten out of prison after all these years, out of a psychiatric institute after all these years, and he's gone back to his life, trying to basically kind of pick up all the pieces of what happened from before. It's not easy at first. He meets this girl that he at a place where he works at, who's played by Meg Tilly. But things aren't as they seem because right away someone's getting killed. Is it Norman back to his old ways? Is there someone trying to frame Norman? And why does a certain lady at the restaurant have such a keen interest in Norman? Well, to answer all those questions, I'm not going to answer them for you. You're going to go watch the movie yourself. But Richard Franklin, of course, who did Road Games, and Patrick, who was called the Australian Hitchcock, did an incredible job with Psycho 2, and it actually is a really great film. It was put out by Scream Factory on Blu-ray and DVD, and I actually have the DVD edition of it right here because this was back when Scream Factory initially came out, and I was buying both Blu-rays and DVDs, and I liked the cover, like kind of this film. I remember seeing it in theater, so it was just have it oversized. Feature-wise, it has the audio commentary with screenwriter Tom Hollands, vintage video and audio interviews with Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, and director Richard Franklin. So rest in peace. Theatrical trailer and TV spots. This is a really good film. It plays really well, and it does subvert expectations, and it has a wry sense of humor that is extremely well done. I really enjoyed Psycho 2. I thought the cast was incredible. Although Meg Tilly didn't really get along, apparently, with some of the other cast members, particularly Anthony Perkins, from what I've heard, I thought on screen, just to show how good of an actor they both are, they have amazing chemistry together, and you're kind of like hoping that things are going to work out for them. Psycho 2. Psycho 3 was directed by Anthony Perkins, Mr. Norman Bates himself. And how did that go? Well, it became different. It became more into like a slasher territory. It became a bit sleazier. Again, it has a pretty damn good cast on this one here. We get a script that was written by Charles Edward Pogue. We have Diana Scarwood. She's actually a Canadian actress, if I'm correct. We have Jeff Fahey in this one here. Kat Shea is in this, as well as Brink Stevens in a small part. So, where's that? I think she's a body double. Psycho 3 basically plays out after the events of Psycho 2, and Norman is back to normal, but Mother's off her rocker again. This is very comedic. It is, I wouldn't say it's dark. It has a nice tone to it, and I really enjoyed this one. There's great allusions to the original Psycho, including one of the characters having the same initials as Marion Crane. And initially, I do think that the original planned ending for this film was better than the ending that we got. So Norman Bates was not supposed to be the killer in this one originally. Originally, there was another actor, and and I can say it because they never use it. So Jeff Fahey's character was initially supposed to be the killer in this film, and we weren't supposed to know that. We were supposed to just basically think it was Norman again, and eventually, when we got to the end of it, we were going to find out that Jeff Fahey was actually the killer. Unfortunately, they didn't go with that, and they went with the tried, I guess, true way of having Norman be the killer once again, and it does take a little bit of the punch away, but again, it's still a really good film, and Anthony Perkins has nothing to be ashamed of in directing that film. Next up is the end of the Psycho series with Norman Bates. Well, with Anthony Perkins' Norman Bates anyway. And that is, ironically, the beginning is the end. Psycho 4, The Beginning. Now, this is always been a personal favorite of mine. I definitely have this was directed by Mick Garris, who directed a lot of like Alfred Hitchcock stuff. He created the Masters of Horror, which lasted 2 seasons and then went to like a different thing. I think Fear itself was the 3rd season. It was like a television series on a network, so it didn't last. It was on NBC, I think. But anyway, Psycho 4 basically has Norman now. He is actually reformed, and he is married. His wife is going to have a child, so he calls in to this radio station to talk to this radio host, this radio psychologist, and pretty much he is teetering on the brink again because he is scared that his madness could get passed on to his child, and he doesn't know if he's going to have to take care of things. That's the framing part of the story. The actual like big brunt of this story, though, is Henry Thomas playing a young Norman Bates with Olivia Hussey playing the mother, and we get to learn the story behind Norman and how he became the way that he is. So that this one here, how do I feel about it? I love this film. I think Olivia Hussey does a great job as the mother. It would be years before we'd see that like really utilized in a television series. But for everything that's here, it's extremely well done. It's really well scripted and shot. I think this was on like HBO or Showtime. It didn't come to theaters, but great little film. And it goes at 96 minutes, so it goes along at a pretty quick clip and pace, and it's really, really well done. Love Psycho 4. So there was a TV series called Bates Motel. I know. You know that. You probably saw it. You saw the guy. He was in like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? No, not that one. There was another TV series called Bates Motel. Well, it was a pilot for a TV series. They never made it. And it starred Bud Cort and Lori Petty. Yep, Tank Girl herself. So in this one right here, Norman Bates has passed away. He has passed away in the asylum. I guess something happened and he ended up back in the asylum again. He became good friends with Bud Cort from Mickey and Maude fame. And he actually wills him his motel in the pretty much Bud Cort comes to the motel to fix it up. There's a murder that happens, and there's a girl that comes in there is thinking about killing herself, but some ghosts show up from the 50s, and yeah, there's 2 or 3 different stories going on here. Basically, if this had become to fruition and become an actual TV series, it was pretty much going to be Love Boat, except at a motel with supernatural happenings and mysteries and that type of thing. So kind of like Fantasy Island, the darker aspects of Fantasy Island when you really think about it. It did not become a TV series. It only made the kind of like the pilot movie that was done, which is a shame. I would have loved to have seen how it would have gone after that. Next up is Psycho, the remake. So basically, Gus Van Sant at this point in his career could do anything that he wanted to do. He pretty much had a blank check in Hollywood. What did he want to do? He wanted to experiment. He wanted to see if he wanted to experiment with remakes and see if he did a practical shot-for-shot remake. Not like going and doing a lot of different things, but he had to in a couple places, put his own experimental like aspects in there. But pretty much a shot-for-shot by script remake of Joseph Stefano's like script and Alfred Hitchcock Psycho. Can you capture lightning in a bottle twice? Is it just the guy? Is it the people in front of the camera and the guy behind the camera? Is there a magic to it that can't be recaptured? If you go, if you completely focus and go in on doing the exact same thing, or is there some intangible part that can't be captured. That's going to make it kind of fall short. It's the second. It's the latter. It's going to make it fall short. But it is an interesting experiment, and for film students, this is an intriguing little thing to look at. There is actually a pretty cool commentary on here as well, with Amy Duddleston, and there's the Psychopath, the making of Psycho, audio commentary with the director Gus Van Sant and actors Anne Heche and Vince Vaughn, and a theatrical trailer. Vince Vaughn has really come to his own as an actor and was a good actor back here as well, but he was kind of miscast, and I don't think he was right and ready for this role. Now, that being said, I think pretty much everybody else in this thing is cast extremely well, including Anne Heche. I think she does an incredible job as Marion Crane. But it's not a great film. It's a great experiment, and for that reason alone, I'm glad that I have it, and I do tend to follow. If I watch Psycho, the original, I do tend to watch them together as a double feature. It's kind of the way that I've taken to doing it, just to see the differences in the way that it's done. So there you go. That's all the Psycho. Oh wait, there's one more, isn't there? I don't have that up here, but there is Bates Motel, the TV series. So Bates Motel, the TV series, ran I think for 6 seasons, and it subverted and went in its own direction. Initially, people thought this was going to just be like Norman Bates as a kid, and we'd see how he became the character that he becomes in Psycho. But we soon found out that this was an alternate reality, different version of Norman, where we were going to see it play out till its complete end, and we even get to see Rihanna as Marion Crane, and it subverts our expectations there as well. So overall, the cast was extremely well done. Lead actor that plays, he's on The Good Doctor now, but that played Norman was incredible in the role. It was well cast, well shot, well written overall. It lost me in a couple places in the fact that I think they pushed it a little too fast in the direction that they were going. But after going back and rewatching the series, which I did do before I made this video, I have to say that once you know, once you have the whole series as a whole, then it makes sense. The reason, the timeline, the speed, the way that they did the show. It had some off parts in a couple seasons, but overall the structure of the series held up extremely well, and it still to this day is one of those extremely well done shows, right up there alongside of Hannibal and The Following. And yes, I do love The Following. So let's rate them. So in last place, is Bates Motel. It definitely is one that shows its age. It's fun. It's intriguing. It's a nice little experiment, but it doesn't really get the feel of it's more Aaron Spelling than Joseph Stefano or even Robert Bloch. But it's an interesting experiment. I do like it. I would like to have seen what would happen with it afterwards. But it's going in last place. Next up is Psycho, the remake. Yeah, I'm going to be honest here. This, as fun as this is as an experiment, and the fact that I have watched it a bit, isn't really because it's a good film, but because as somebody that studies film, it's a curio for me, and I do enjoy certain portions of it. But it's a shame. I was hoping it would work to it better. All right, we are up to the top 4. So next up is Bates Motel, the actual TV series, which I thought was extremely good, did an amazing job with the characters, but I can't in good conscience put Bates Motel above the 3 actual films as much as I like it. So it's going to go in the number 1, 2, 6, 5, in number 4 spot. In the number 3 spot is Psycho 3. There you go. A great little film, extremely well done. I do think that they made the wrong choice with the ending of the film, but I didn't make it. They did. still, it's a really fun, entertaining ride. It's a quick clip of a film, and it's one that I do find myself going back to. So there you go. In the number 2 position is Psycho 4, The Beginning. I really, really like this film. I thought they did a great job. I thought Levi Hussey and Henry Thompson were amazing. I thought that there was high stakes, and it was extremely well done. Not just the background one, but the wraparound as well with Norman Bates. Anthony Perkins does a great job in this one here. And man, if you have not checked this out, it really, really is worth checking out. And of course, that leaves the number 1 spot. And it's a pretty easy one, actually. It's Richard Franklin's Psycho 2. So if you've never seen Psycho 2, come on, man, see Psycho 2. It's a really good film. It's well done. It's well written. Character study is incredible on this film. And the cast is great. Vera Miles comes back in this one. She has a really good job. And really kind of, I use the subvert word a lot. Really, as subvert, changes the role up a bit from what she was in the original Psycho. Meg Tilly is extremely good in this. Tom Holland wrote a solid script that is amazingly directed by Richard Franklin, and I 110% recommend it. The Psycho series is a good series of films and TV shows and TV pilots to watch, because even the worst of the Psycho series is entertaining. I'm looking at you, Bud Court. It's not your fault, man. You tried. But there you go. I am Aaron. This has been reviewed and ranked for the Call to Cinema, as you get it on every Tuesday. And I will see you here. If you have not watched, by the way, my review roundup series that I just started, when I did 14 films in 15 minutes, please make sure that you go back and watch that one. I spent a lot of time. I had to watch 14 films for you guys. Make sure you watch that video. I am Aaron, and I will see you next time right here in Call to Cinema.